Hi all, Glockman 1000 here, and what I want to do is show you how to use your original mouthpiece seal. It comes on the CE2 Fluxomizer from Got Vapes. This is kind of a follow-up to my how-to and how to install the plug seal. And what we're going to be using right now is a hobby knife or X-Acto type razor type blade knife. Your original, let's see if I can get a, sorry, I mounted my camera weird just to do this. But right here is an original one, and here's a couple I modded. Let me see if I can bring those in here to focus. And this is one that's modded. Basically what you do is you cut out the inner ring. Here's a white one. I don't know if you can really see it much better. And I have a little surprise at the end of this video for something that you don't have to modify at all. But basically what we're going to do, very simple. If you have one of these, just got to be careful. You know, these are they are razors basically. And what you want to do is get your seal. Let me see if I can get a good in shot there. Sorry, kind of shooting at reverse angles here. And what you want to do is hold the blade at a 45-degree angle and go ahead and puncture in to the rubber part there. There's a little donut that's in the center. You want to go ahead and use that. You can push all the way down and just slowly turn it and slice into the seal or into your original mouthpiece. Just keep going until you get all the way around it. You know, take your time. Remember, you are messing with a sharp tool here. Keep going around, and you'll eventually get to the point where it'll just kind of like just slide right out of there. Keep going there. I'm taking my time so you can see this. There you go, it's almost there. There it is, pops right out. There's a little broken piece there. And what you got left is like a tapered fitting. You basically made a tapered hole into it. And I have one here that I already did. It's on my Provari. This is it right here. And to give you an idea, that's about how much juice I have in there. And we're going to take a drag. Let me see what my voltage here is. Oh, went too far. That's my voltage. Oh, it's kind of hard to see, but it's at 4.4 volts right now. Now, the thing with putting this seal with the original, here, let me give you that seal. This is basically the same thing. I haven't filled this one yet. You can just take your original mouthpiece and stick it back in there once you've done this trimming mod on the original mouthpiece. Now, let me go ahead and take a drag off of this. A couple of things. From my previous video, I did mention that, you know, the draw gets tighter. In this case, the draw becomes like the way it was before you started having to mess with seals and all that. Like when you take out and use the middle O-ring. But the good thing about this is this doesn't leak. You can actually leave it like this. You can carry this around in your pocket or mount it on your PV. But personally, I've had a bad experience with a Fluxo and my Provari in my back pocket, and you know, the tube came off and I bent the inner tube. So I usually just unscrew these if I'm not using it. But here, this does not leak, and I'll go ahead and take a draw on it. That was 3 chain vapes right there, and see, that's my juice level. I don't know if you can see that right there. Juice level is right about there. It still performs really well with just a factory mouthpiece. Now, one little caveat is that while you're drawing, you might get a little drop of juice. Let me see if I can show. Not used to this camera angle. Okay, you might get a little bit of drop of juice there, but it's not a major amount of juice like if you were to really be like, I mean, like you had like 2-3 drops come out. No, it's not going to be like that. It'll be very minimal. It's easy to clean. Just wipe it off, or you know, you get a little napkin or something, you can just wipe it off. But it works extremely well. And if you can see in there, you'll see the nipple. God, God Vapes is fascinated with nipples, gotta tell you. But right here, you can actually see like where the nipple would be. You just want to basically shave out here. Let me just put this one on top, the one I just did. That's basically what you want it to look like. Instead of looking like here. This is what the original one looks like. You can see there's like a donut ring. Basically all you're doing is cutting out the donut ring and you're making a 45-degree cut, like how I angled the blade into it. See right here? This is about, let me see if I can get that in there. Center it off. Oh boy. Right about there, you want to get like a 45-degree angle. That will, once you do that, it'll wick a lot faster than just using a regular drip tip. You can still use a drip tip, and I found the best one to use, in my opinion, are Ming drip tips and the Cool Stone. The Cool Stone seems to seal up the best. Sometimes if you use the regular drip tip, it might get underneath the plug seal and it might flood the wick a little bit. With this, I haven't had that, and it's a nice, clean, smooth draw. And let me give you an example. Let me bring this up. I don't know if you can hear that. But that's a straight draw out of it. And I'm tilting it down. But going back to basics, you might want to tilt it, especially now that my juice level is down to here. It will eat a lot more juice, like the old CE or Fluxomizers. But with this also, I can bring up my voltage. I can get a better throat hit. I mean, it's a really strong throat hit. If you're used to using the drip tip, like in the previous video I made, you're gonna get, you're still gonna get a throat hit, but this one it's really stronger, a lot stronger. Flavor is, it's improved also, and you get a similar draw to what you might be used to on a Fluxomizer with the original seal. And let's do this. Let me put this down. Let me get my Menthol Mania here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the one that I just trimmed. So we're going to go ahead and fill. Let me get under there. Sorry, Monarch, I know you like the nipples, but this is convenient for me now with the seals. And my nipples, I'm saving them for other bottles since I still have my Flux Nectar in here. So let's... Man, I'm so used to not used to doing filming with a camera above, right above. Sorry about that. If it's making you dizzy or anything. Okay, nice and full. And here's the one that I just did earlier in the video. We're gonna cap it and square it off, and there you go. Now, take my Proveri here, and one thing that I always do is I always check the ohm rating on the Fluxo. So while it's soaking in there, we'll check the ohm rating. And this is coming in at 2.7. I don't know if you can see that. 2.7 ohms. So that's pretty much what my other Fluxo was set at. So I'm going to go ahead and vape this, and it should be hopefully sufficiently wicked or wet by now. So let's try it. Wow, that's really good right there. Great, this is working excellent. So if you want to have like a compact solution by using the original mouthpiece on here that came with your Fluxo, and you just want to add the nipple, just do a simple mod. See, I have some here that I've already done. And what I'm going to do is since I have, I'll be honest with you, I ordered 20 of the seal kits that came with the mouthpieces. I don't use the mouthpieces, and they just don't work for me. But I have these two that I need to work on, and I have all this right here, spares, that I'm going to be doing the same thing to, since I can use them all if I need them as a backup. If I'm not using a drip tip or I'm out at work, I can use that. Now, like what I told you earlier, about something that you can use right out of the box. These come in the package, and I'll be honest with you, this requires no modification. This will work perfectly with this seal. Now once you use this seal, and I want to say thanks to Rob L45, ECF4 member. He said my guess is that this is the tip he was mentioning that came with it, and this thing works great with the seal directly. You don't have to like mod any of these. You know, you might be put off because of the tip. It's like this, but my opinion is if they were to redo these mouthpieces to this style here of inner plug right here, and maybe just cut this off or make it a full length style like a drip tip style mouthpiece and put that in every Fluxomizer kit, be a perfect solution. Because once you put this on, it actually does two things. If you notice, it will sit against the new seal, okay, and that actually seals it up really well. It's the best way to seal it up next to a Vortex mouthpiece, and I have a Vortex, and I'll go ahead and show you what it looks like on here also. Now the thing I like about this is if you're worried about getting a little bit of spittle from like burnt juice or the juice atomizing in here, you rarely ever get that. I've used this the whole day just to experiment and try it, and it works awesome. So I'm gonna go ahead and take a vape off this, and you know, I'll give you an idea how it vapes. Okay, what I'm doing is I'm exhaling through my nose and also through my mouth. I exhale, you know, my first drag. So that first shot you saw was through my nose, you know, because I wanted to get the flavor, the taste. That's one draw. You know, you probably can't see it, but I'm blowing rings. I'm dropping bombs, smoke ring bombs on my mouthpieces here. So like I said, if you have these from your kit and you want a compact style seal that will work with the new, or compact style mouthpiece that will work with the new plug seal, this is like a drop-on fit. Once you put this in, the inner seal, the new cup seal with this, it's like the perfect combination in my opinion if you want to go that route. Now let me show you what it looks like with a Vortex mouthpiece for those that might not have seen the way the Vortex 2 mouthpiece goes on here. A couple of things, it does work. A couple of cons when you're using this. Basically, when you put it on, it's silicone too. I guess this is also silicone, the new seal, and it'll go on. Unfortunately, you can't butt it all the way down. Here you have a gap in between here. Now that might not bother you, but it does seal just about as well as these. Now, I'll go ahead and take a drag to show you. So they do work. They do work with this. Now here's the con that you know, kind of puts me off on using the Vortex. I mean, it looks nice with this. It looks stylish. But the problem is that you got to be careful when you remove this, when you remove the mouth plug piece on the Vortex, with the Vortex mouthpiece, because what it can do is it can pull the seal out. Since it's silicone to silicone, they have a tendency to stick to each other. Seal's really good, but you run the chance of pulling this out, and if you're like half full of juice, the only way to get the plug seal back on is to remove the tube. That's the easiest way to do it. You're not going to be able to put it back in, which is the reason why I made my first video. But it does work with it, and I have no problem with it. And you know, the other drip tip that I would recommend is the ceramic cool stone. I know this is what I use in my original video, but it's when I want to use a drip tip. Of course, the porcelain. It's one thing I like about the porcelain is that it's clean. You won't get like a plasticky taste compared to like an acrylic type drip tip. That's one of the things that will throw you off. Now, it's clean. They're easy to clean. They do, yes. If you ate something or you drank coffee, you'll see some stains on it. Just, no biggie. Just wipe it off. But when you use this, the reason why these work so well is, let me show you a standard type drip tip. Now, of course, they have this little rim right here that stops the drip tip from going farther in. The actual ceramic cool stone, it goes in deeper. So basically what it does, it goes ahead and sits like right above the cup seal. So actually it's compressing it down better, and this will actually seal better. If you notice, you can see right there, that's where it goes down, and that's right next to it is the seal. So this actually is the next best thing if you want to use a drip tip. Now hopefully GV Vapes will come out with different colors of these, because these are probably going to be my go-to, these seals. If I can't get and they're economical compared to like suppose like a cherry vape Ming drip tip, which is also my other recommendation for these. So let me vape this for you. Excellent. Good thing about the porcelain, since it doesn't have a tendency to stain up on the inside when you clean them, you can like soak them in vodka, or you can use dishwashing liquid. Get a Q-tip. Get a Q-tip and clean out the inside with a Q-tip with alcohol or vodka or something, and it's clean. Now that's the easiest way, and since it's porcelain, it tastes cleaner, and of course it's a cool stone like it's advertised, so it'll help you it. Of course, when if you're in a cold room, these will be cold. They do get a little warm, but that means, hey, take a break from vaping. You don't want to go into a nicotine overdose, And the last drip tip I want to show you is the Cherry Vape Ming. Now, the reason why I think these work kind of well is there's two reasons why. The inner dripping hole is actually a bit undersized compared to, let's say, this type of drip tip. I guess you can see that there. This looks a lot smaller in the inside part. The other thing is, if you look at it this way, where the rims meet, where the areas here that bump up against it meet, this becomes similar to the cool stone, wherein it goes in farther and it seats against the plug seal better. And we'll go ahead and do that. And there you go. You can see the red color right against the seal here, the new plug seal. And I'll go ahead and vape it too. The only problem with using the Ming style that I can honestly say might be a problem is that you're gonna dry out your wick faster. And my only theory on that is that since it's closed up here and has a smaller hole, it creates more vacuum within inside the tube. Now, if you go back to, let's say, using the plain old what is that here, the black modded one, the original one, you're gonna get a lot more draw. It'll be an easier draw. And if you use this, yes, it'll be an easier draw. So this is a good solution out of the box. And if you have these and you want to modify them, so like, just to keep them compact or something, this will work also. And like I said, this is probably my personal favorite, because the hole is not too big. It's like perfect, fits around the nipple. There we go, nipples again. It works really well, and it does go in deep enough. Now, there is a thing you can do, like if you want to use one of these drip tips, what you can do is get like my hobby blade here, and you can slightly trim the Fluxo end down. And there's a trick to that, but it's running kind of long. If anybody wants to know how I trim these to get them straight, I can post it in a follow-up video. But that's all I got time for right now. Hope it helps you guys out. And once again, Glockman 1000, thanks for watching. Hang loose, y'all.